Welcome to a new episode of the Digital Edge podcast. Today we are delighted to host a new guest, Giada Narducci, who is Director of Business Development at Dragonfly Asset Management. And we are going to talk about the evolution and the latest development in crypto. Giada, thank you so much for being with us. Welcome. And please, can you introduce yourself and how you came to work in crypto?
Of course. Thank you very much for having me today. I'm very excited to be here with you, Francoise, and of course to talk about crypto, which is my new passion. I have to admit, new because my background is from traditional finance. I spent years in private wealth management at Goldman Sachs, and before that, in asset management at Mirabeau, a Swiss private bank. So at the very beginning, I was very skeptic about this space, but the evidence made me change my mind. And so since last year, when I joined Dragonfly, I'm learning so much and it's very refreshing to see a new business, a new industry at the beginning of its evolution.
Okay, super. And we are really grateful that you are going to share your knowledge with us. So let's get started. Most of our listeners have heard about Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum, but crypto still feels to many people like either get rich quickly scheme or a speculative bubble. So, as someone who works in this space, what is the most important misconception you'd like to clear up in the first question of this podcast?
Sure. So I work at Dragonfly Asset Management. We are specialized in altcoins. So we are at the forefront of innovation in the crypto industry. The biggest misconception I would like to identify is exactly not to identify the whole industry and the blockchain technology with the most speculative corners of this industry. It's like disregarding equity markets because of penny stocks or the whole credit market because of subprime CDOs. There is a serious institutional part in this market that most people never see. There are regulated funds investing in this space with big four auditors or regulated exchanges and custodians like Coinbase Prime or BitGo, and sophisticated investors, family offices or endowments, that they are not speculating. They are making allocation decisions based on fundamentals. So the proof is also the fact that institutional players, for example, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, they launched a Bitcoin ETF. It was the best launch of their history. They gathered over 50 billion in assets in less than 1 year. And so this is not speculation. This is a structural shift. So yes, there is a casino corner in crypto for sure. Better to be honest and clear. But there is also a serious institutional corner that is growing very fast. And that corner is where I work.
Okay, super. And exactly to that point, so if we leave aside the trading and speculation, um, can you talk about the real transformational value for business? I mean, in terms of payment, supply chain, smart contracts, tokenization of assets. What do
Yes.
you see in the market today? Where is the actual value of using crypto, and where is it still a promise for the future?
Yes. Yes. Not everything has landed yet. The two most compelling real use cases right now I can see, they are tokenization of financial assets and cross-border payments via crypto on chain. If you look at the tokenization of financial markets, it's not just me, also Larry Fink, to cite BlackRock again, thinks that in the next 5 years, the majority of financial markets will be tokenized. BlackRock, again, they launched on-chain money market fund that crossed 1 billion in assets under management in few months. Franklin Templeton, to make another name,
Yeah.
they are running tokenized treasuries on public blockchains. So these aren't pilots. These are live products with real yields, real institutional investors, and they can offer better settlement because the settlement on crypto is in minutes rather than days.
Yeah.
You have compliance embedded into the token, and the level of transparency is not comparable to what traditional fund can offer. So this is disrupting the sector for sure.
Yeah.
On the other side, on the payment side, everything goes through stablecoins, right? Dollar denominated tokens on blockchain. And they are already processing trillions of dollars in annual volume. And they are solving also a very genuine problem, above all in emerging markets, because they give access to a stable store of value with the ability to then move money across borders without correspondent banking frictions.
Yeah.
So yes, there are certain part of this narrative that they still need to improve, and they are not there yet. For example, supply chain provenance, voting systems, healthcare records, contracts for complex legal arrangements. It's not there yet, and the technology is there, but the problem is to get the whole infrastructure of an industry completely redone from scratch on chain. So it's a coordination effort.
So you mentioned that, and you quoted the BlackRock a few times that indeed you have major players that are actually, getting into crypto with real products that are already there.
Yes.
Yeah, and also regulatory frameworks emerging in Europe and the US. So we don't have a crystal ball, but where do you see crypto heading in the coming years? What type of developments do you forecast?
Yes. Well, just to better understand the future, let's start looking at where we are today and where we are coming from, maybe. We say that today we are in the third phase of the crypto industry development. And this is the institutional phase when institutional investors are coming into the market and the market is getting deeper and it's enhancing its features. We started with the first Bitcoins days, and then we went through the speculation phase that was back in 2021, 2020, when we had the ICO boom and retail investor frenzy that they wanted to get rich overnight. But yes, today it's really a normalization, institutionalization phase. And if we look at the market itself and we run some figures, today we are at 2.5 trillion total market cap in crypto. Okay? So this is 2.5 trillion is 58% more or less Bitcoin, 30% altcoins, and then you have 12, 14% of stable coins. 10 years ago, the crypto market was just Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin is a limited capacity, and we call it the digital gold. So we think that the structural growth of this industry will come from the altcoin part of the market,
Okay.
where we expect the most innovative disruption and features to come to the market and drive the future growth. ARK, for example, estimates that the altcoin market, which is not even 1 billion today, will reach 10 trillion by 2030.
So huge growth.
Huge growth, yes. And if I have to name a theme that is driving markets today, and I think it will continue in the future, is decentralized AI, of course. So we all know that Meta, Google, OpenAI, they are building the artificial intelligence that is available to us nowadays. But they do it at a very high cost,
Yeah.
no? They are spending tens of billions in research to build up their models and employing thousands of people and deploying thousands of computers
And the
and
infrastructure as well. That is very expensive.
so decentralized AI can do that with just a handful of people scattered around the world, each with a computer at their place, no boss, no office, no budget. So this is groundbreaking, and it's not just me. It's also the CEO of NVIDIA publicly awarded decentralized AI at the beginning of March in a public interview, saying this is groundbreaking.
So how do you make the link between decentralized AI and crypto?
Well, decentralized AI is running on crypto. Crypto is the when we say crypto is to say a decentralized type of network.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a blockchain, or it could be an application on a blockchain, but it's the principle of having a protocol and a decentralized model.
Okay, very clear. Super. So that's where you see, the largest, biggest opportunity in the near future.
Yes.
Okay, super. So maybe getting to the last question, and just trying to be very practical, for a senior executive or a board member who is not a specialist in crypto, but is starting to see that this is, a topic that is coming in all industries, and as you said, it's becoming more professional past the speculative area. What is the one thing they should understand and the one thing they should do in the next 6 months?
Okay, right. The one thing that it's super important to understand, it's exactly what we were saying. Crypto is not just price speculation and price moving up and down. Crypto is what happens when you put a financial infrastructure on programmable open networks, right? Crypto
Yeah.
is the programmable open network. So if you run a fund, this means shorter settlements, another type of distribution, compliance that looks totally different from what it is today. If you run a payment business, again, stable coins could be a massive disruption or the biggest opportunity of your life. So I think it's critical to sit down with someone that has a financial background and works in the crypto space to learn the ABC and to learn how to ask the good questions, the good, relevant, important, basic questions when the crypto topic will land on the board agenda or on our own desk, because it will land sooner than later. So, yes, I moved from the traditional finance space. I think the window opens right now.
Okay, so your recommendation is sit down and get educated and understand what is coming up, and potentially, see what are the applications for your business. I think that would be
Exactly.
the,
Yes.
okay, getting started. Super. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge about crypto. That was, super interesting. Is there any last
Thank you.
thought that you want to add before we say goodbye?
Well, it's a super interesting space. It's just the first step to do, and then it will come very easily.
Okay, super. Thank you so much, Giada, and see you all for next episode very soon. Bye
Thank
bye.
you very much, Francoise. Speak soon. Bye
Thank you.
bye.